Hello everyone, this is Aiden with Aiden Plays Games, and I am here to give you my thoughts and opinions of the latest Call of Duty, Black Ops 6. I know the age-old question of should I get this year's Call of Duty is on everyone's mind, and I wanted to give my impressions of the game after logging more than 30 hours of game time since release. For this review, I will only be discussing multiplayer as I have not had enough time into the campaign or zombies to give an educated review on those parts of the game. My initial thoughts when loading up Black Ops 6 for the first time was I actually really enjoyed the menu and UI. I thought it was easy to find and access things and didn't feel that any of the screens were clunky or out of place. I also really liked how you were able to go into the firing range while searching for matches, since so many other games have practice as its own game mode. This is great for warming up before your game or testing out attachment combos while you wait. I was also pleasantly surprised with the movement and how smooth that felt. Moving around the map felt great to me, and I can see how using the movement system can create a major skill gap between players. I always go back and forth on whether I prefer the CODs of old where it all came down to aiming ability, or the newer versions where movement plays an extreme role in skill level. But after playing Black Ops 6, I do enjoy the new Omni movement system and look forward to seeing what they can do with it in the future. I was skeptical on how this would fit into the game, but overall I have no issues with it and felt gameplay was the most smooth out of any recent Call of Duty. The gameplay feels fast-paced and exciting, and the Omni movement system gives you the opportunity to make creative outplays which feel extremely rewarding. Black Ops 6 multiplayer debuted with 12 core 6v6 maps, and I would say overall they are better than I expected. I found that I preferred the smaller maps such as Subsonic, Babylon, and Skyline over the larger maps such as Red Card, which in my opinion is by far the worst map in the game. It seemed like that was consistent with other players, as the larger maps would consistently receive little to no votes in the pre-game lobbies, as the smaller maps would get anywhere from 5 to 6. Lobbies that had two larger maps often ended up going with the classified random maps as the voting favorite. I will say I think the game mode you are playing also influences the larger maps, since the 2 games of Red Card I played all weekend were kill confirmed, which felt unbearable and both times ended by time expiring. Maybe domination or hardpoint would cause them to be more fun having players funnel to the main objective, but when gameplay is spread out around the entire map, it felt boring and had little action. I was happy to see that Treyarch moved back in the direction of the old gun progression system, where the majority of each gun's attachments were unlocked by using that specific gun. My least favorite feature of MW3 2023 was the way unlocking attachments worked, so I was relieved to see this wasn't the same system in Black Ops 6. Whoever decided that I needed to level my LMG to 12 to get an attachment for my sniper should no longer be working at Activision. Another hot topic in gaming today is skill-based matchmaking. For the majority of the weekend, I was playing with a party of at least 4 and felt like skill-based matchmaking wasn't overtuned. Sure, there were games where you would get completely destroyed by demon lobbies, but at the same time, there were games where we would do the same to the other team. I noticed that the skill-based matchmaking seemed to be amped up when playing solo. For the majority of the weekend, I was top fragging in my lobbies, where playing solo I would frequently sit middle of the pack. This could be because more players are unlocking all guns and attachments, but the lobbies felt significantly harder to me going in as a solo. One thing in Black Ops 6 that I hadn't noticed nearly as bad in past games was the teammate body blocking. I was frequently getting caught on my teammates off of spawn and in hallways, which is something I rarely encountered in past Call of Duties. My friends that I was playing with were also complaining about the same issue, so I have no idea what changed, but man, it was super annoying. I could be sitting on an angle and have my teammate drag me into a choke point, which resulted in me being exposed and dying. Another frustrating part of the game was certain spawns. Spawns seemed super inconsistent, and I kept running into situations where I would die and then be spawned right next to the player that eliminated me. I also noticed spawns were really goofy on hardpoint games, where the enemy team would all of a sudden start spawning right next to the hardpoint as we were actively holding it, resulting in them easily taking the point. We would then start spawning far away where they should have been spawning in the first place. I didn't notice this on every map in game mode, but it was definitely a problem on certain maps. Looking at Black Ops 6 as a whole, I would rate it an 8 out of 10. As someone who was extremely let down by MW3 2023, I found myself having fun playing Call of Duty with my friends again. The interface of the menu made it easy to navigate and was a seamless experience. I thought the game ran extremely well and the movement and gameplay felt well polished, which is really important for an FPS game to be successful. For the most part, I enjoyed all of the maps with an exception of a few, but this can easily be avoided with voting in the pre-game lobby, and it seems like other players had the same feeling, meaning I rarely played maps I didn't like. Certain gameplay aspects such as spawns could have been improved to help raise the score, but overall I have had fun with Black Ops 6 and feel it is by far the best Call of Duty in a long time. I also appreciated that there were no bugs or server issues on launch like there was in MW3, which caused players to not be able to unlock new equipment and gun attachments until the daily challenges were fixed after over 24 hours. If you are someone like myself that is hesitant to spend $70 on the newest game with the fear of being disappointed, I can say I think Black Ops 6 is worth it, and Treyarch rose to the occasion to get the franchise back on track. If you have been on a hiatus from Call of Duty, I recommend jumping back in with Black Ops 6. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and let me know in the comments if there are other games you would like to see tips for or upcoming titles you are excited about playing. Don't just play games, master them. Subscribe and level up with Aiden Plays Games.